Hey guys, how's it going? It's Monday, November the 26th, 2012. I want to apologize for last week's video being lacking in anything except the date. That was kind of lame and I should have just not even posted. But the way the channel's going right now, no one's posting anything ever except Kaylin. Kaylin, I'm going to give it up to you because you're a constant posting, person. So you're on the ball, whereas everyone else is kind of I don't know if I want to post anymore. I don't think I want to do the channel anymore. So I don't really know what's going to happen to the channel at this point. I'd like to keep it going. Maybe just get a new cast of characters to add to the group, because I know I think 2 people have told me that they're going to drop. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'd rather the channel didn't fall apart, but things happen. School's busy. Life's busy. These are all things that we cannot control. But anyway, I really don't know what I'm going to talk about today. I just know that I have to make a semi-quality video because someone messaged me this morning and said, hey, you better have a semi-quality video today or else. And I really don't want to know what the or else is, so I guess we're going to make a video about something I'm very fond of and something that's really easy to talk about. And that is my film studio movie group thing. So for those of you who don't know me personally, or those of you who know me very little, I make movies. I'm a part of this group called Around the World Studios. We are a small independent film group. We don't spend a lot of money on props and unnecessary things. We stick to the basics. That being said, we just use a Flip Ultra camera. I've had this camera for about 3 years, roughly, and we've made movies on it. All of our movies have pretty much been filmed on this and on our cell phones, our cameras on our cell phones. So we're not cheap, we're just very poor college students, so we make do with what we can. Our next film, however, and the films following it, will be filmed on this Samsung HD something or other camera, but it's pretty nifty and it's dead at the moment, so I can't really show you guys anything on it. So we have a pretty good film collection that consists of 6 movies, 5 of them being in the Melvin series, 3 movies, a prequel, and then a spin-off, and then Melvin 4 is coming up, so that will be the 6th and final installment of Melvin. And then we have Row, which is our first expansion of our creative minds, and we made that. Now, if I have to explain each one, you'll probably be like, what? Essentially, the Melvin series is the tale of a boy who is a loser, for lack of a better word, who becomes the target of this corporation, who is essentially like hitmen. So the whole point of the movies, essentially, is that Melvin is trying to avoid this whole crime syndicate, and in the last one, eventually go home to his father. It's very unclear from Melvin 1 and 2 what the story was, because when we made them, it was just a joke. And then we made How Melvin Stole Christmas, which was the 3rd film that we made. And that essentially built a story for the first 2, and then for 3 and 4, ultimately. Row was conceived the summer before college. We wanted to do one more movie while we were all together, and we didn't want it to be Melvin. We wanted to take a break, so we made Row. The story of Row was essentially the story of many people, but mainly the main characters are myself and Joe, and we are essentially roommates who got kicked out of our house, and we got a job to find this certain tea. Tea. And essentially the movie is us running into these other characters, and ultimately the whole story gets tied together, kind of. It's weird, but it's awesome, and I love Row. Row is probably my favorite movie that we've made. Well, that's a lie, because Melvin 4 is pretty fantastic, and I'm really proud of Melvin 4 so far. It's almost done, so I'm really excited to get that out there. I'm really proud how far we've come with this series and how we're wrapping it up, so... But before that, Row was definitely my favorite filming endeavor. Then we made our spin-off movie, which was our mystery movie over the summer. It was called Greg, and it took the character of Greg from the Melvin series and gave him his own little story in between Melvin 2 and 3. So if you guys want to watch any of these films, I will leave annotations on the screen right now, and it will take you to playlists of the movies. So if you guys want to, please feel free to watch them. Like I said, they're not very high budget movies, so don't have too really high of expectations, but if you just want to laugh, these movies are perfect. And I just kind of want to tell a funny story about filming that happened this past weekend. We were filming one of the bigger fight scenes of the movie in Harahan, and we went to this usual spot where we filmed the intro to the movie, actually, and we were like, okay, well, we're going to go to a different spot back there, and we will figure out how to choreograph a fight scene in this really tight, enclosed, wooded area. Well, that wasn't the case. You see, Isaac had kind of messed up all of the place where we filmed, so we had to kind of like find how to get back to our normal spot. And when we did, we found this. Essentially, the whole sanded area was a giant like pond, and the pond got sanded over, and we were like, well, this is kind of awesome. So we filmed on it, and the scenes that we filmed there were pretty top notch, and I'm really excited to like put that all together because that is one of the coolest things that we have seen. The only downside to it, which is what I'll explain now, was well, let me explain. We had filmed the last scene of the day, and we were going back to the cars, and we were on this like, okay, there was the sanded pond, and then there was like another like grassy area, which is where we filmed the last scene. And then we were walking back across the sand, and my leg went about halfway into the ground. It was essentially quicksand. And that was a thing we had to deal with, which was unique and different. Definitely something that we didn't expect and had to deal with accordingly.
Sea of a heavy log and quicksand.
Yes. Alex, you going clubbing with some seals?
Yeah.
Clubbing with seals.
So yeah, making movies is one of my favorite things to do, and I'm really excited to finish Melvin 4, have a premiere for it, and then move on to new filming endeavors. We have about 3 or 4 movies that we have in mind to film, and I'm really excited because one of these films is an adaptation of something I truly love, so it's going to be fantastic, hopefully. James and Caitlin, I will see you two tomorrow. Everyone else, have a good week. Prepare for finals. Get yourselves ready. I know it's going to be tough. As always, guys, don't forget to be awesome. I'm Christian Babin, and I will see you all next Monday here on the Dorm Room TV. Peace.